Welcome to Under the Sisterhood, where we honor female experiences. During each episode, I will have intimate conversations with women of all ages to get under the hood of their individual journeys through womanhood. Together, we'll pursue the many aspects of the female experience, creating a sacred space for women to share their stories, their ideas, and their wisdom. This is a podcast to celebrate women and recognize all that they do in our world. I'm Elizabeth Elfenbein. Let's get under the hood. Today, I'd like to welcome and honor Bharti Dayal. Bharti is a mother, daughter-in-law, sister, friend, philosopher, guide, and an internationally recognized Madhubani painting artist from India. She has transformed this once dying craft into its contemporary art form using mediums of newspapers, public platforms, and social media. She invented and single-handedly promoted the contemporary and classical themes. Bharti's art has been a token of national pride to presidents and prime ministers from various countries. It's beyond my pleasure to honor her today. Welcome, Bharti.
Welcome to you and welcome to becoming a part of sisterhood. I'm very happy for that.
Oh, we are so delighted to speak with you. I just don't even know where to begin. This is a very exciting journey that I've been on and that I'm on to help bring our sisterhood together and really get under the hood. So if it's okay, why don't we start with the first question? This is a big question, really big question. What does it mean to be a woman to you?
It's a confident, becoming a beautiful, and a human of substance with love and kindness, with all my feminine essence.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So do you like what I like is your answer is so general. So it's not, based on your culture, Eastern or Western culture, but I'd like to understand what does it mean to you in terms of being in an Eastern culture as it relates to being a woman from India? Is there any differences or uniqueness to that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. What I find, every woman have a same, you can say beauty, you can say the positivity, the vastness to explore the world, and their you can say their contribution to the universe. It's the same, either it is Eastern or Western. Everywhere women are the same.
I think that's so beautiful. And I love that you began with it's about confidence, because I mean, women are our strength. It's our shoulders that creates the world, if you will. It's our everything that creates the world. But I think that it's just amazing when we think about it. And I love the notion of the vastness, because women are so many things. Like your introductions, we're mothers, daughters, sisters, artists, healers, doctors, lawyers, like we're so many musicians, are, so many different things. And to have
So
it
beautiful.
feel, yeah, it's so beautiful. So, moving right along, as we begin to think about it, what has your female experience been like? And at what point would you say you began feeling like a woman?
I would like to divide it into three parts. First, I will tell you the emotionally. Emotionally, I have started feeling when I was 7, and I have seen my mother. Her painting in Radha was not smiling because she has undergone a stress part with her, you can say, mother-in-law. So it was emotionally, you can say, I felt there was something which is very honest expression, honest feeling with the woman. And when the two women, they have their arguments and all, the feeling is, it is not classed. It is they are putting it in somewhere. They are expressing it in their picture or in their poem or in their poetry. Somewhere they are expressing. Second, you can say physically. When I have seen my sister, my elder sister, she was wearing her bra, and I was surprised that why she is wearing this. And when I asked her, she told me that when you will grow up, you will wear all the same. And I felt there is something which is different from the men in us. And intellectually, I went through when I felt when my dad has told me that no, you can't take art as your subject. You have to take science because you know you will you will get your place more easily. Second, an art is more challenging according to him. And after that, when I got and I did my best in my academy. And after that, when I got married, my husband told, no, you don't have to do the job because you have to look after the home and the children. So intellectually, I felt there is difference to become being a man and woman, and you need to be more confident, you need to be more faithful, you need to be more strong as a human being. That was my experience, you can say, as a woman. It's
I
not
love
a it was challenging, you can say.
Oh, of course. No, I love the way you broke it down, the emotional and then the physical and then the intellectual. And I think, boy, yes, women deal with things more, they're able to deal with their emotions more honestly to your point and more authentically, and they're able to
Right.
express them. And it sounds like in the case that your family expressed it through art, whether it was like painting or
Whether
whether it was poetry or
or,
writing. The physical thing, yes, noticing, what changes, what's different about us. And it's really interesting at the ages each of us as women experience that. It's
yes.
really, I'm like, wow, yeah. And I didn't have an older sister, so I can really appreciate you telling that story because I wasn't,
This is
and
the
it's
truth.
interesting the conversations I've had. I didn't necessarily have that conversation. But lastly, I want to talk about the intellectual side, which was going out, your family pushing you to approach the science and not really the art. Focusing on your left brain versus your right brain, and it sounds like you have both, so you're very, very fortunate. But getting married, suddenly the I don't want to say forced, but the becoming domestic and really recognizing all the things that are required from a woman in the home, from having a family to keeping the home. And hopefully, and in your case, you were able to pursue your passion with your art form. But that's really tricky. That's really tricky, the becoming domestic. And I can tell you, I know I felt the same. So can you
Yes, yes, and that's why I used my intellectually word, because there at that time what I felt that if you have to, you have to face a stone, the wall in that way. You take a stone as a wall, right? Around you, the people around you, all are your own. But if you have to face them, and it is not according to you, you just become liquid. You will get your place. You will get your place if you will. If you will, if you will face it like a stone. What happened? It will break. The whole system will break. So you have to become a liquid, and you will get your place because it can pass through any medium, anywhere. So I become liquid. So intellectually, I find myself stable. I did myself
That's fascinating. I
to
love it.
to to handle.
It's like going with the flow, because if you're liquid, you're
Yeah, yeah,
going with
yeah,
like
yeah.
a river.
Because
You just flow like
yeah,
a river,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you know,
Flow like a river. Just move on. The main thing is that you move on. That is very important.
yeah, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Yes, thank you. That is a really profound answer. I am just looking. So the next question, which I love this question, what would you tell your 18-year-old self today?
One thing is very important. What I learned, you are the real architect of yourself. Be confident, have faith in yourself, and create. You yourself create through your action a legacy which inspire others to do more, to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more.
That's beautiful.
That's what I want to say.
Well, it's funny because in a lot of ways you've been doing that. So it's like you're going to go back and tell your 18-year-old self.
Somewhere your question is just explaining me.
Yes,
It's me.
actually, which is a beautiful thing because you did it intuitively, not knowing you did what you would tell your 18-year-old self to do today, which is
Yeah,
just, it's beyond beautiful. I mean, it's really honoring and holding a sacred space for you as a woman and women in general. Like, lead by
yes.
example, be the change you want to see in the world. Love Gandhi. That's something that has really resonated with me because it starts from within. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. The next question I think is an interesting one, which is, how do you feel about being a woman in today's world?
It's more challenging. You have to put your whole self to experience this.
And that's it? It's just,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You have to put your whole self, whole, complete thing to experience your womanhood.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You
interesting.
can't take it you can't take it non-seriously, you know. It's a
Yeah,
challenging world.
it is a challenge.
You can't make yourself frustrated. You can't make yourself you can't deny, you can't take the negative thing on your head. You have to be very strong, very strong. That is in this place in these days for women, it's a challenging.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we just got crazy news here with the Supreme Court, and just women's rights. And I think it's just a time where it's so unsettling. And I think about where I am, where we both are, because we're of similar ages. And things that I don't want to say I took for granted. I mean, the journey has been really interesting, but I look at today's world and going back to what does it mean to be a woman? We have to be stronger than ever. We have
Yes.
to we have to
Yeah.
own our voice, have a voice. We have to
Yes.
be seen. We have to be heard.
Yes.
What
Yes.
else? How else would you, like, when you think about the challenges, what would you say to your daughter today so that she can grow up in a better world?
Face it. Face it. I tell just face it. You have to be responsible for yourself. Don't make yourself every time dependent on others, either it is physically, mentally, or financially. You have to be independent and you have to take care of yourself. You have to be responsible for yourself. That is very important. What you want for your happiness is important.
I love that. I love that so much. I've been working, I have two daughters, and I think that my approach has been leading by example, but I think to your point of telling them that it's really looking internally. You're responsible for your happiness. You need to own it.
Happiness.
I think you're right. And you need to take control of those things. Both your
Mm.
emotional health, your physical health, your financial
Yeah.
health, your
Uh-huh.
ability to go and be your best self every day. So I think that's wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to say about that before I move on?
No, I don't think so. It's
Okay.
good.
Actually, so
Yeah.
the next part of that actually builds off of it, which is, what would you do if you could do anything to change and make the world better for women? And I'd like for you to really expand upon this. Like
Yeah,
just think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
about what you would
That's
do.
what. No string, no dependency on other, no dependency on other. If you really want to enjoy your freedom, your happiness, you have to go inside yourself. You have to find somewhere. If I want to feel my freedom, why I'm dependent on others for emotionally support, for physically support, or the financially support.
I love
You
that.
can this is the way also to be strong. Why not?
You,
I'm happy with myself.
what I love
In
about
my doing, in my doing.
Exactly. Exactly. What I love about it is just that it's so internally focused. I think
Yes.
that we live in a world, particularly in the Western culture, where everything is so externally focused, validation, support, everything. People are looking for happiness outside of, instead
Outside,
of looking inside. People are
inside.
looking for validation, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, whether it's through relationships, whatever it may be, they're looking at it externally. If women could get a hold of that internally, because we are so strong, we are so powerful, we could lean
Right.
into everything, all
We
of our
have
vast
power. We
resources.
have power to
Exactly.
do that. Yes.
Exactly. And if we
Yeah.
did that, imagine like the world,
Yes.
I feel like
Oh, yeah.
if there would be a shift if we quietly and internally just like lit
Yeah.
that fire in within and
Yes.
support each other.
I'm telling you, be the best version of yourself. Yeah.
Could not agree more. Oh, I love this discussion. It's something I've been yearning to talk about, is being a woman and the things that we can do. And at the end of the day, Barty, this isn't just women of our age. We are setting up, it's our shoulders that future generations are walking on. I think about the likes of in the Western culture, people like Gloria Steinem, who has changed women's rights in America, and has really fought, and it's on her shoulders that we've been able to go about and do, breaking glass ceilings. When I think about the world, and I think about people like Ayan Hirsi Ali and what she's done with her infidel and all the amazing things and just the things that women are doing that allow future generations to give them freedoms, the wings to be themselves. What are
Yes.
your thoughts on that as it relates to India? Who would you say is that person? It sounds like you are, but who else in your country would you say is really fighting for the rights of women?
Indira Gandhi has done a lot. And she was a woman here. She has taken her own decisions. I love her attitude to run the country. That was good as a woman.
Amazing.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of people in art and culture. There are a lot. There are a lot in music. Lata Mangeshkar was there. She has survived her own. A lot of people are there. A lot of people are there. I love them.
I think
They
I
are,
think
they are example to set, to make yourself feel that you can do. You can do. You have the power to do for yourself. At least do for yourself individually. If you are happy, you are spreading the happiness. That is most important.
I couldn't agree more. I think about, I mean, women, everybody should be a role model, but unfortunately, probably more women are role models for their families and for their futures. And we should really take that seriously because
Yes, very seriously. Everyone, whatever I feel, I can tell you, Elizabeth, that every woman have the power, and they're doing for their family. It's not that somewhere we are known to them, but no, in the houses also, I have seen the women, the women who are working as a domestic wife, they are also fighting their own war. They are also doing with the same spirit. That's why I told you that it should be like you are a real architect of yourself, this universe. I can say you're part of, you're important part. You're the with the same strength. You are the part of universe, and you are the real architect.
that is so amazingly true. I love how you've articulated that thought. We are the architects of the universe. We
Yes,
just need to know it. I think back
yes,
to the very
yes,
first point, confidence. Women need to recognize and lean into their power, have the confidence, have the belief
yes,
that they can do
yes,
anything that they can imagine. And
yeah.
they might, in some cases, might not be able to do it, likely won't be able to do it
Uh,
alone, but
yeah,
they have the
don't don't
power.
don't don't go others to tell about yourself. You are the best judge of yourself. You can do. You can say about yourself. You say
Exactly.
first about yourself.
Exactly.
Take yourself first. Take yourself first. Seriously, love yourself. That is very important.
Oh, I
Which
love that.
which all very less women does. You
I
know.
think you're right. I think that we are so busy giving. I love the book, Shel Silverstein's The Giving Tree. It's a brilliant, brilliant book. It's one of my favorite books. It's a children's book, but it talks about, the tree is the mother, and the tree keeps
Yes.
giving until it becomes a stump. And I think the
Yeah.
biggest, and then the son sits on the stump. And I think the biggest thing that we can all learn from that is we need to fertilize our tree, us. We need to nourish us. We need to take care of us. We need to put our oxygen masks on first because
Right.
without
Yes.
us, other things can exist. So I think that you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. You're
you're
absolutely right.
important. You're important. Very important.
Exactly. So the last question, and I'd really like to spend some time on here because I think it is really the theme of everything we're doing, which is, do you feel part of a sisterhood?
Yeah, of course. I'm a very much part of sisterhood, and I'm loving this. And I love to give my time or anywhere. If you need me, I'm always there, Elizabeth. I'd love to do.
That
I'm very I'm happy. I'm very happy with this sharing of my thought, even or my confidence to let them inspire to do to become more. I'm very happy for that, Elizabeth.
before you met me, before we came in contact and you agreed to join under the sisterhood and share your sacred female experiences, did you feel part of a sisterhood? Or, I mean, I am thrilled to have you join this because it's so
Yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah. That's why I have written in my bio. I have edited, you can say, the sister, because I in my whole community, in my artist community, everybody used to tell me Didi. That means sister.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. This whole getting under the hood of all of our feelings, our sacred experiences, giving us voice is just so important. And being able to speak with someone who has you're an internationally recognized artist. Your work is just so spiritual and beautiful and speaks to people. And I think, to your point of, yes, you've been portraying the female experiences through conversations and through the Madhubani art form. So it's magical. It's just utterly magical. Is there anything that, as we close our conversation, that you'd like to share? Like, if you were leaving this discussion, what would you say to women of all ages? Like, how do you feel? What's the message you want to leave women of all ages? And please feel free to expand.
I'll just tell you one thing: make yourself happy first. Find your happiness. You will spread the happiness in the whole world. You will spread the harmony and love in whole world. That is needed, must needed for any time, you can say.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You know, that's a beautiful thing. Well, Bharti, thank you so much for
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
sharing and being open. And we will be working together. Bharti Dayal's work is magical. She will be featuring her on our website and featuring her artwork. She's going to be portraying an Under the Sisterhood piece of art, and we're very excited to feature that and share that. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for letting us get under the hood with Bharti Dayal.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. I love to all sisters.
Love to you, Bharti. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Under the Sisterhood. We hope you will join us next episode to honor amazing women from around the world. This podcast is created and hosted by Under the Sisterhood, LLC, and Elizabeth Elfenbein, produced by Elizabeth Elfenbein and Zach Slapp, and edited by Zach Slapp. The music is by Ayla Schaefer. Her song, Rose.